Hello, everybody, and welcome to another amazing episode of Sphere of Success, which talks about business owners who've overcome adversity and challenge to get where they are now. So we know that these things happen. You know, it's never a straightforward path, especially if we have our own businesses. And sometimes these things that we feel are the darkest before the dawn, there is light at the end of the tunnel, to use two phrases. But you know what? Sometimes they're the opportunities to grow. They could be the set-ups rather than the setbacks that we might first think of them. So today I have an amazing guest. He deals with Tantric Bodywork, which I think is something which we could all learn from, with the way in which we can transform trauma into positive, wonderful energy to be able to help with life's tribulations. And Mal Weeraratne, hi, this is lovely to have you. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, lovely. And perhaps you could let us know a little bit about your journey as to where you've been and where you are now.
Yeah, I started this work as a massage therapist working in my wife's beauty salon, where majority of the clients were female and some male. So by doing massages on these people, I found there was a great need for healing through conscious touch. So massage itself is just actually helping people to release their physical tension momentary, but I think there's a greater healing that's needed beyond this physical touch. So this is what that led me to learn Tantrism and Taoism. I travel all over the world to study. I learned 16 different massage modalities and travel all over the world from learning from the best teachers in the world with the knowledge that I already have. And I also have worked in this field for nearly 25 years now, over 25 years, treating over 3,500 female clients. So this is my journey, and I now have set up a school where I teach other practitioners to share the knowledge that I have. And I teach people all over the world, both online and also in London, Berlin, and in Spain.
Wow, busy gentleman, fantastic. And the wonderful thing is, with your great healing, it does help to improve our energy levels. And
Yeah.
when we are looking at adversity and challenge, it's actually at these moments where, if we have the reserves of energy to dig deep into and have a constant well of supportive and, I would say, blissful energy, even when things are seeming pretty dark outside, how can you help people embody that wonderful positive energy to tackle the life's challenges and adversity?
Okay, so basically, the success in life comes with in three different areas for me. Uh, so one needs to have good health, that's physically, mentally, and spiritually. Because without good health, you can't really go get anywhere. So you need to have a good health, and also you need to have a good wealth. Because if you don't have wealth, you don't feel secured. Wealth, when I say wealth, it doesn't mean to become a billionaire, but it means the inner wealth. You are content with what you have and you are rich with your heart. So, this inner wealth is very important for success. And also, the third one is happiness and joy with everything you do in life, with passion. So, whatever the job that you're doing, whether you're a nurse or an underground driver or a minicab driver, whatever the work that you're doing, if you are doing this with joy, then this really helps you as well to achieve success. But if you're doing this just because you have to do something, then you won't achieve the same success. So, reaching our highest potential is limited by our own feelings, thoughts, emotions, and actions due to past trauma. Otherwise, once these negative emotions and thoughts and feelings are transformed into positive thoughts, positive emotions, positive feelings, positive actions, then we can reach unlimited success, limitless success. So basically, we limit ourselves, our success, our joy, our happiness, and health is limited by ourselves, our own trauma, which we have ignored. Now, I believe also that failures are the pillars of success. My success came through many failures, and all my knowledge has been accumulated through series of mistakes I have done in my life, and also learning through complaints that I've had in the past. So these were really gold mines for you to better yourself. So every mistake that I have done, every complaint that I received was an opportunity to better myself. And I also don't get stressed. I fight each and every battle with a cheerful smile. I don't get stressed. So basically, the success comes with the planning and achieving goals. Because if you don't plan, you can't achieve and you can't be successful. You need to have a very clear mission where you're going. You need to plan in advance and then you achieve your goals. This achieves success. And also, success is having the courage to take calculated risks. If you're not willing to take risks, you will not be successful. And every risk that you take, sometimes you win, then you achieve success. If you lose, then you have something to learn. So both are successful. Either you learn or you succeed. So you have to be willing to have the courage to take calculated risks. Success is also
Mm.
sharing knowledge. Success is also sharing knowledge and working together to achieve greater success. Because success cannot be achieved by yourself. Success has to be done with shared knowledge and working together. Then you can achieve greater success. So this is important then to share the knowledge, not just to keep your knowledge to yourself. And also, success is sharing energy. It's about giving and receiving in every aspect of your life. It's not only giving, because if you give, you need to receive as well. Energy should be circulated, not one way. Because if it's one way, then either you give or receive, then you drain your energy. Energy has to be circulated because everything in the universe is circulating. Nothing is one way.
Yeah.
Everything is
Oh,
cyclic.
Mal, oh, you've said so much, which is just so wonderful. I can see you coming back and back and back on these episodes because there's so much to unpack here, so many golden nuggets that you're giving us. And just this last one about circulation. In our bodies, our blood circulates, our oxygen circulates, everything within us is circulating. And this is I'm touching upon something now where I'm finding that the more I give, the more I'm
Yeah,
receiving.
absolutely.
And yeah, and it's that giving of energy. And I'm having some beautiful things said about this to me
Yeah,
that people can feel it. And then there's the reciprocity that people want to give. It's almost like giving somebody the gift of
yeah,
receiving a gift, for that then to embody something. And asking for help is
yeah.
something which I'm doing more and more of, from a genuine basis of wanting to give that gift to people so that they can feel that they can help in some way. Could you go
Absolutely.
into a little bit more detail as to how that flow of energy, you're talking about tantric body work and often keeping, is it the chi energy in us? But how do you get that flow coming over and back to us? How does that work?
Energy is circulating. So, especially when you're doing tantric body work, if you can give energy with no expectations. I mean, in life, basically, if you do any help to other people, don't expect anything in return. If you love someone, don't expect them to love you back. Because if you expect something in return and if you don't get what you expected, you get hurt. But if you give something with no expectations, you'll never get hurt. So therefore, you can give something with an open heart. And then when you give something with an open heart, you get 10 times more in return. So the key is really to be able to give something with no expectations. And also, in everything in our life is circular. Nothing is static. For example, if we take love, love is not static. Love is a variable. Sometimes you love more, sometimes you love less. Sometimes you don't love, sometimes you hate, sometimes you love so much. So nothing is static, everything is variable. So you need to expect, you need to understand and accept this, that nothing is one way, everything is two-way, circulating, and nothing is static, everything is moving. Nothing in the universe is static, everything is moving. So this understanding is actually ancient knowledge. This is what people thousands and thousands of years ago, these are the principles that they actually lived a healthy life, healthier life than what we are doing now.
So everything is moving, everything isn't the same, which is great because that includes ourselves as well. And I've heard the phrase, oh, I'm too old. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that our lives are all about expansion and creation and experiencing new things so that we can grow into our mature years, because age is just a number. And I think that our predilection of thinking that when you're in your 70s or 80s is something, and then if you're in your 90s or something, but ultimately as beings, as part of the universe, I do believe that we go on and on and on in different forms, but not everybody might sit comfortably with that. But how can we at any age know that we're always growing and we're always expanding? How does your work help people expand and grow?
Yeah, how Tantric Bodywork, the basic principle is actually to be able to cultivate and store chi energy within us. Chi energy is the most powerful energy that we actually can store. So by being able to cultivate chi energy, by creating chi energy and being able to circulate the chi energy through our body, chi energy is a positive charge energy. And this positive charge energy keeps on moving throughout our body. Our trauma, our negative thoughts, feelings, negative emotions are negative charge. So this positive charge can actually neutralize our trauma, our negative energies. That's how, by being able to cultivate and move chi energy throughout our body, we can live a joyful, blissful, vibrant life all the time. But when our energy pathways are stagnant, then this chi energy cannot be moved. Then this is the time we get ill, dysfunctional, and depressed. So it's so important to learn how to create chi energy and how to move the chi energy throughout our body and how to share this chi energy with other people as well to help them to move their energy as well. So this is the sharing that we do, a beautiful chi energy among yourself and among other people and among the whole nation and among the whole world, and the whole universe. This is a circulation of energy. That's what that makes us happy and blissful and vibrant. But when this energy is stagnant, when it's not moving, then this is the time we get ill and dysfunctional. So it's a
Hmm.
very simple principle.
I'm likening it to I used to have a pond, a small pond in my back garden where I used to live. And at one point, I had a little fountain in there that used to recirculate the water, and you'd fill it up every now and again when things had evaporated. And that was always nice and fresh and clean, and everything looked lovely, etc. And then I left it and I went on holiday for a bit, and I kind of forgotten about it. There weren't any animals or anything in there weren't any fish or anything. So it was just a decorative pond. And I came back and I wanted to clean it out. Oh, the smell was just awful. It was just really bad. And I'd realized that constant flow of water coming through and that oxygen and keeping that environment clean and moving
Yeah, yeah.
was so important. And what you've just said has kind of resonated with me in the sense of we kind of need that in our bodies to
We
keep
need to
everything
circulate.
moving. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If the energy is not moving, just like the pond, energy gets stagnant, and this is the time we develop parasites, bacteria, viruses, and cancer cells to grow in these environments, and we become ill and dysfunctional and depressed. So we need to learn how to not only to create energy, but to allow the chi energy to move through the body to have a blissful life and a clean life, healthy life. Exactly like the pond that was, not circulating. It's so
Ah,
important.
yeah, or the traffic jams that sometimes we find ourselves in town or on the motorways, and everything's fine when we're whizzing along and all the traffic's going, it's fine. And then all of a sudden there's this lump of, bottleneck there's this queue and everybody starts to get frustrated, and obviously we've got things to be getting on with, so we're getting a bit late, or just the sheer frustration of not moving anywhere can
That's
actually
right. Yeah,
cause stress. And even if we've got no particular time frame that we need to be somewhere, the fact that we're not going anywhere when we thought in our heads that
absolutely. Yeah.
that's where we were. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I get
I
that
mean,
brief going.
our body is just like a motorway, actually. The traffic needs to flow. Let's say in this motorway, if a village have a fire or something, the fire brigade can't get there because of the traffic jam, you see, then the whole village get burned. So our body, vital organs have to reach the energy through our meridian lines. So if this energy pathways are blocked, then of course our organs get dysfunctional because there are two components necessary for every organ. You need blood, which we know, and energy. So if the blood and energy is blocked due to sedimentation, capillary blocks due to sedimentation, or energy blocks due to knots and tangles due to past trauma, then the energy won't go reach the vital organ. Then the vital organ dysfunction. Your brain doesn't function properly. Your sexual organs won't function properly. So really, it's so important to clear the blockages and promote more blood and more energy into every organ in our body. So then these organs function better, and also we can live longer, a happy, blissful life. So this is really important.
Mm. And when we're going through those periods of, and I know you say that you don't get stressed or anxious, which is a wonderful place to be, but I know how difficult that can be to actually live in fact that things can happen and we don't react with stress and anxiety. So for people who haven't quite got to where you are and they do experience stress and anxiety through situations, have you got any tips that you can give people
Yes,
to help them
yes.
unlock what they might have
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
internalized?
yeah. I'll give an example. Let's say you're at work uh, or in a relationship or with family. Somebody makes you angry. Okay. So what they're doing is they are actually saying something or doing something to trigger the molecules of anger that you already have in your body cells. Okay. And that was there not because of what's happening now, that was there because something that happened in the past that you haven't dealt with. Okay. So this person who is making you angry is actually only triggering the anger molecule that you already have in your body. Okay. So now what I do is if somebody makes me angry, what I do is I feel the anger in the body. First of all, that's the number one, is to don't deny it. Feel the anger in the whole body and multiply this anger by 100 times, as if you are getting 100 times more angry. So your whole body will feel this anger. And then once you feel this anger in your body, just look into the eyes of the person who is actually making you angry and just simply breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, very simply, maybe 3 to 4 times. That's all. And what happened to the molecules of anger in your body, in your cells, will transform the anger molecules to the opposite of that emotion, which is love. And then what happens is you'll be looking into the person's eyes and you will transmit love into that person. And that person's anger will just melt in minutes. And then he will feel love. And then you go and get close to that person and give a good hug and say, I love you. So now there is no violence, there is no anger. So this is how you deal with different negative emotions. Same way, if you feel sad, feel the sadness in your body because sadness was not created by anybody else. Sadness was already there in your body because something has happened to you in the past. So the person is making you sad because they're triggering your existing molecules of sadness in your body. And then if you feel into the sadness, multiply the sadness by 100 folds, feel the sadness in your whole body, and then cry if you want, as loud as you want. And then you can transform the sadness into the opposite of sadness, which is happy and bliss. So you can do this within a matter of minutes if you understand the principles of this trauma, how they stored in the body and how they can be transformed. This is what I teach in the Tantric Journey School of Healing and Awakening, how very simply to lead a blissful life with no stress whatsoever. Nobody can make you angry unless you have molecules of anger in your body. Nobody can make you sad unless you have molecules of sadness in your body. So the idea is really in life, if you can lead a spiritual life, to transform your negative thoughts, negative feelings, negative actions, negative molecules in your body into positive ones, then nobody will be able to make you angry. Nobody will be able to make you sad. Nobody will make you shame, have guilt or fear, because you don't have such molecules. Or if you have, they've been in very, very small doses. So therefore, uh, you can then lead a much better, blissful, happy life without conflict. So this is really important. And that's what I
And
teach in Tantric Journey.
yes, the other day I have a little dog, and I was walking her, and have a long lead, and I'm always very careful about where I walk my dog. I don't let her be a disturbance to anybody. And there was a lady who was running, jogging down the pathway, and before even she came close, she shouted really harshly at me and said, "Keep your dog on the lead," really, really loudly. So anger, fear, anger, what have you. And it hit me in my chest. I felt this wound, and it took me right the way back from when I was a little girl and my father was shouting at me. And as a little girl, pre the age of 6, I had no idea why he was shouting at me. Hadn't got a clue. My brain would not have assimilated the reason for the being shouted at. And that affected me for days. And the interesting thing is, it wasn't that woman at all. Her anger was displayed. Perhaps she'd been bitten by a dog running past before, and it triggered this emotion in her. Well, that was her journey. What it taught me was there is a serious lesson that I needed to learn within myself. And I asked myself, although I didn't amplify it 100 times, but it felt pretty horrible. And that, for me, amplifying that feeling 100 timefold, that's pretty scary in itself, because it's like, this doesn't feel very nice anyway. And I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, it was probably about a 5. And then you go up, 500, and it's just like, no, I don't want to go there. But that's perhaps why it took me a few days to get over it rather than as quickly as you're saying.
Yeah.
But I went on that voyage to discovery. And interestingly enough, I didn't blame her. I wasn't like, this stupid woman was, and she had a go at me. And this would have been somebody that before the nervous breakthrough would have gone on and on about this woman. But I did internalize it, and I thought, why am I triggered so badly? So, and I even kissed my dog. I felt very tearful. I didn't want my dog to get that energy. And isn't it interesting what you say about amplifying it 100-fold? Woo, if I'd have done that, I think I would have cried on the spot. And there's nothing wrong with crying. I think that's the whole thing, that I was wanting to keep a semblance of I don't know, I don't know what it is. Why would I want to feel that people would judge me if I cried? I don't know why. There wasn't anybody there. Something told me not to cry, and I didn't, and I kept it in. And then I worked through it, and it was like, okay. And once it was free, wow, that was like awesome. So what you're saying is, get it there and then, when you're in control of that moment, and amplify it 100 times.
Yeah.
And really
just breathe into it.
Feel it. Yeah, really feel it.
Yeah.
And then the magic happens quicker and more incisively. Is that what you're saying? Interesting.
Absolutely. And also you need to understand how that anger or fear molecules got to your body. You see, you said that your father shouted at you when you were 6 years old and you didn't understand why he was shouting. So what happened at that age as a little girl, you probably felt fear. You felt probably anger. You probably felt many different emotions, you see. And then what happened is you become helpless. Maybe you don't remember this, but this is what happens. When trauma happens, especially when you are year 0 to 6, this is the most vulnerable stage. you actually dissociate yourself from the situation. So you freeze. And it is this freezing moment is the time that all the emotions get stagnant and block our energy pathways. And they stay there for the rest of your life. And
Mm.
then when you go to the park with your dog, when the other person shouted at you, it is these molecules of anger or fear or whatever the emotion that got triggered because of the initial dissociation. As a child, if you had the ammunitions, if you had the power to speak or explain or understand without dissociating, without freezing, then you wouldn't suppress your emotions. You see, that's what animals do. Animals don't suppress their emotions; they disperse straight away. Even as a child of an animal, they disperse straight away. You see, but because we got a higher brain than animals, our brains work differently to animals. We are capable of suppressing our emotions because we want to respect our parents. We want to be culturally, religiously. It's wrong to speak, uh, speak out. So because of that, we suppress. We have no option. We just suppress our emotions, and it is this suppressed emotions that become negative, stagnant molecules in our body that can get triggered from time to time. People might feel lonely, get angry for the slightest thing, feel sad, feel fearful. And this is because triggering of our own trauma that's embedded in our body cellular memory.
Wow,
So
yeah.
sooner
Mm.
you transform these cells through the tantric type of bodywork, then they are not there anymore. Nobody can make you angry. Nobody can make you fearful. Nobody can make you sad. You know, or if you are getting sad, much less than a normal average person, because these negative emotions, this negative trauma makes our body into an acidic environment. Acidic environment attract parasites, bacteria, viruses, and cancer to grow. So it's much better to transform our body into a positive tone, make our body into an alkaline environment. So none of these bacteria, viruses, cancer cannot survive in an alkaline environment. So this is a leading a spiritual life, which people have been spoken about it for thousands of years now.
It's very interesting again, because ultimately as well, and I only speak for myself because I can't speak for others, but ultimately for me, I have been through one of the healthiest, and thank you to the universe and thank you to myself for actually bringing this about. Since the nervous breakthrough, I have been super healthy. And I think that has got to do the large extent with the work that the inner work that I'm doing with the energy and everything, because you're right, in that sense, I haven't had a cold. I used to suffer a lot from migraine headaches, and I haven't had one of them. Um, I'm respectful now of my sleep, which I wasn't before. I'm respectful of what I put into my body, which I've never been bad at that, but I'm much more aware of what I put into my body as far as emotion, energy, food, water, all of that sort of thing, quality of air. So it's the whole thing. But what I do think is that the pervading energy that I have, my body feels regulated, my body feels energized, and the apart from just say if I've been walking out with a dog and maybe I've twisted a little bit wrongly, I might find a little bit of a muscle pain or something. But other than that, I've been pain free and I've been physically free of colds and things like that. And that's pretty awesome. And so from a business perspective as well, the energies that I've been able to put into my business to be able to have that level of concentration, the right decision making processes, being showing up for my business in a positive and blissful state, that's really helped on all levels the results that I've been getting from a business thing. So not just from personal fulfillment, but from a commercial basis as well, from the wealth that we get from that. That's been exponential in helping me grow as a person. Do you see a lot of that
Absolutely.
happening in business life as well with people?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's very important to understand how the body becomes into an acidic environment. So one is inside the cell, we develop toxics due to what we eat, drink, breathe, lifestyle. And this makes our inside the cell toxic. So a lot of people, what they do is they go for fasting, they go for uh, juice fasting, diets, exercises. These are good because this helps them to detox their inside the cell, the toxic level that is built up. Now, the problem is there's another toxic that's outside the cell. They are called molecules of emotions. And it's a Dr. Candid Peart, around 1887. She discovered these molecules of emotion, and she labeled them as molecules of emotion, as neuropeptides, you see. So she has labeled uh, 87, 80 neuropeptides at her time. And she said that we will discover 300 neuropeptides later on in our life. Now, outside the cell, the emotions of molecules that comes because of sexual trauma, sexual abuse, psychological abuse, due to culture and religious belief systems, uh, all these different uh, ways that you put on negative emotions, negative molecules of emotions outside the cell. So if you take the molecules outside the cell and inside the cell, these two together, both physical toxics and emotional toxics, to put together, that makes our cell into an acidic environment. And our whole body become an acidic environment. This is how we get ill and dysfunctional. But if you can transform, if you can move the body from an acidic environment to an alkaline environment by releasing physical and emotional toxic from our body, then we can achieve highest potential that we can, in life, in every aspect of our life. And we can lead a blissful life by
Oh,
doing that.
it's wonderful, isn't it? And as I say to everybody, whether we're on a spiritual journey or not, one of the things about living a wonderful, contented, happy, joyous, blissful life is that we're not living the reverse. So ultimately, how wonderful to have your work, what you're doing, Mal, for people to actually help them on that journey. And if that's the worst that can happen, it's pretty worth a go, isn't it? It's good.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
I think life not worth living really being depressed all your life. Life, you have to live a blissful life, happy life, joyful life. Life really not worth living in a depressed life, or going on antidepressants and medications, and taking substances to live. This is not a way to live. There's a much better way to live, because in our body, inside our body, we have all the substances we need to live a healthy, blissful life. That's what I believe in, and that's what I teach.
That's wonderful. What a joyous message to give to us all in success, in business, in personal life, as it all marries together and making us those wonderful human beings that actually delight waking up every day and having another wonderful new experience to share and to give to the world. It's a lovely way to be. So
Absolutely. And
thank
and
you.
also and also last thing that I want to add is, one of the really key success for me is being able to serve humanity. I think whatever the work you do, whatever the job you do, if you can think of serving humanity, I think this really makes you very rich in your heart.
Absolutely. And also knowledge without sharing that knowledge is just ego. And the more we
That's
can
right.
share
Yeah.
that
And it's
knowledge with
very
others,
important to share the knowledge. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And you've done that so eloquently, Mal. So thank you so much. And how can people get hold of you?
Well, you can Google tantricjourney.com, or you can email me tantricjourney@aol.com, or you can send me a WhatsApp message or SMS message on my mobile 07 956 568 227. And I work till very late, maybe sometimes 1, 2 in the morning. I'm nearly available 24/7. I work every day of the week. I have a lot of energy, so I can answer any questions. I can help anybody who wants to help. I also hold workshops every 2 months for individuals and couples to help with their tantric journey, to make a blissful, happy life, improve their relationships, and to be able to reach their highest potential and to be successful in their business or relationships, every aspect of their life. And also I'm teaching in London and Berlin and in Spain. So please get in touch with me wherever you are in the world. I also teach online. Every workshop that I teach every 2 months, I do on Zoom, so I can do online training as well while I'm doing the on-site training. So that's available as well from anybody anywhere in the world if you can't come to London.
Well, Mal,
And also
here's the, I was just
yeah,
going to say, here's the exponent of all the energy.
yeah, and also
I'm
I
out of
teach.
breath just thinking. Sorry, go ahead.
And also I teach people to do the work that I've been doing for the last 30 years, 25, 30 years. So I'm teaching many people all over the world now, every continent. I have students and therapists who are practicing and studying right at this moment. They are doing the same work that I have done over the last so many years. So I'm sharing the knowledge.
Brilliant. Wonderful. Congratulations. It's lovely. And
Thank you.
oh, my pleasure. And everybody who's listening, absolutely, it is out there. I had to have a nervous breakthrough, as I call it, to be able to see that. Doesn't necessarily, it's great if you don't have that crisis. If you think that you'd like to hear more about this wonderful work that you can do to increase the most wonderful thing every day, please do get in touch with Mal. It's always a joy to have you, Mal, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you very soon as well. And for everybody
Thank
there,
you.
my pleasure. Take care, and until the next time, see you soon. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.